Welcome back to a lifetime of conversations, everybody.
What's up?
What's up?
That's so 90s.
That is so 90s.
You're listening to KRPRGR1.
You're listening to K90. All right, well, whatever. So anyway, this episode is about craziness in the neighborhood. It's crazy in my neighborhood. Hi, neighbor. You want to see something crazy? Man, I remember when I moved to this neighborhood was like the biggest thing. Oh, did you hear this guy got his house egged? What? What's the world coming to?
Suburbial gossip. Yeah, you live in a very classically Florida suburban neighborhood.
And it used to be so nothing. Now it's like, oh, it's nice. The weather's nice. Oh, okay. The taxes are low. Let's everybody in the world move here. So it's just crazy. People are crazy, man. People are okay. So this week, some crazy stuff happened. People like to drive insane up and down the streets here. I mean, in a residential neighborhood, and the people that live in this neighborhood drive down the street really fast.
It's actually, they're more of the culprits, I think, than outside drivers.
Right, and it's even worse.
Yeah.
You should know better.
You have a lot of cops that live on the street.
You-
There's like at least 3 cop cars parked on this road almost all time.
And you think it would deter these people?
Nope.
And it doesn't.
No,
And you drive past this house every day, and you see these children playing in the front yard, and you have the balls to drive down the street like that? Are you out of your mind?
The first and foremost to me, I always think about is kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, number one. Like everything else, dogs, pets, people, cars, none of it matters but the kids.
Yeah,
Bikes.
so-
Think about it. E-bikes, skateboards, basketballs, running around. Doesn't matter.
Somebody working on their car in the driveway, anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, so this particular one person, a couple of days ago, I'm on the way home from work. And I open up my phone. I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and I'm a member of this neighborhood. A lot of people in this neighborhood are on this group, and we talk about stuff that's
Community.
going on.
Yeah, we had one too in Pennsylvania.
Cops flying down, this street. I'm not going to say the name or whatever, but what's going on? Everybody's chatting. What the hell is going on? What happened was this guy that lives in LaBelle, which is out by Pahokee and Belglade. It's way out there. Somehow he made his way out to our neighborhood.
Dude, you had me at Belglade.
Yeah, he stole.
Anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, so this charming young fellow has this brilliant idea to steal an Audi from the Publix. Not the one right by my house, but the one on Southern.
People still steal cars?
Yeah.
I think
Actually, did you ever hear of the Kia Boys? Okay, well,
No, but go ahead, okay, yeah.
So anyway,
Guys,
so anyway, did this charming, bright, shining star decides to steal an Audi, nice car. So he's driving it, and he decides to drive down this street that takes you from one end of the neighborhood all the way to the other end to the main road. It's maybe a couple of miles.
Right, it's a straight line though, but there's a bunch of stop signs in between.
Yeah, the stop signs, a couple of roundabouts.
I've driven it a couple times.
Yeah,
When the kid was learning to drive, we use your neighborhood.
Perfect.
It's a perfect neighborhood.
So actually, we found somebody posted on their Ring camera, their house camera.
Yeah.
Him driving down the street at about, they estimated between 80 and 100 miles an hour.
Oh my, it's so fast for suburban. It's so fast.
Yeah, in the 25 mile an hour neighborhood.
So fast. Like
So he goes around this little tiny curve. It bends a little bit, and he loses control of the car. He hits a couple of garbage cans, and he smashes head on into a truck, a work truck with towing. Do you know those humongous landscaping trailers, the big, huge white ones?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Those big ass ones. Head first into one of those. There was 3 people in the landscaping truck. They were working. One person, the beacon of heaven, shining star in this white Audi. He's dead immediately.
Oh, he died on impact.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he ended up in someone's...
Because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
No, he was wearing a hospital gown, apparently,
Wow.
which came out like a day or so later.
Okay.
So now that the truck is jackknifed, his car, I mean, just the way everything was situated, it was like, how did all of this stuff happen? The bed of the truck was like kinked from the cab. One of the guys in the landscaping truck had to get,
Medevac.
helicopter, medevac,
Yeah, medevac, yeah.
to the hospital. The other two, I mean, all three of them were in seriously injured.
Sure.
And this dude is dead, and the whole street was taped off for hours and hours, and that there was police and investigate, and it's and now people are petitioning. They want speed humps.
Oh my God!
Down the street,
and that's
and
exactly
you know
what happens every time.
Yeah, and now I have to get. I mean, and you know what? The way I look at it,
One guy ruins it.
I'm not really getting punished because speed humps don't affect me. Because I don't have to slow down for them because I don't speed in my neighborhood.
Because you don't drive right. Yeah, if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
So honestly, it is a pain in the butt. Boom, boom. It's a pain in the butt.
I think it matters for people with certain cars. So it'd be one thing if, like the standard, if you have like someone has a Civic with a low suspension,
like dropped.
That shit destroys their car. And at that point, those are the people that it affects. But most people speed humps, and we're talking a hump, not a bump, right?
It's made out my hump. My hump.
I want to see where you'd go with it.
Well, did you know how they have like the ones that are made out of rubber? But no, these are going to be actual made out of asphalt.
Yeah,
And they cost. Guess how much it costs to put one of those in?
One?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. At least $5,000.
$13,000.
Oh my God.
Now you know that has to do with that has to do with politics and elected officials and people getting their palms. You're telling me that it costs $13,000. I could do it for $500.
Yeah.
Me,
and they'll give you a bunch of excuses. Well, we know it has to be done perfectly, and it has to be designed, and the aerodynamics, and right, well, you don't have computers, and doesn't a machine? I
have an idea. Pour a bunch of tar in the middle of the street and make a half of a circle out of it. And then wait till it gets hard.
But, even when in a situation like this, okay, yes, the speed humps might have slowed down that one guy doing 80, right, where this happens.
Well, no, I mean, if you hit a speed hump.
He didn't even live here, and it was just a random occurrence, that's not really the point to put speed humps. It's more for if you had a average ongoing occurrence of these things.
It is.
Okay. I mean, especially for people who live in the neighborhood, like you said, it's more likely that the people that live here are driving faster than the people. I drive literally 28 miles an hour when I come down this road.
Me too.
And you have a lot of blind curves and and the mailboxes. That's one thing that gets me too. There's mailboxes everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't even like edge too close, or if you stick out a little and you're always afraid of hitting something.
Yep.
But,
I mean, the next day after this happened, people were flying down that street.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. It's like,
So, I mean, it's just, okay, if you're going, suppose the speed limit is 25 miles an hour. If you go over one of those speed humps at 40, straight 40, not slowing down, just right over it, that's not good. I mean,
you'll probably catch some air.
Yeah, I mean, it's, probably.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or you'll damage your car.
And it would go, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom.
Yeah. So it's impossible. 40. It's impossible to go 80 over one of those.
Right.
It's impossible.
Even the first 80 would have probably, the moment he hit the ground again, he would have swerved and spun out. And then he might have smashed into someone's house and killed some children.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point, okay.
I mean, and, I was saying yesterday, I was like, God forgive me, but I'm glad he can't hurt anybody else in the future.
No, true, but then you have no explanation, and there's nobody to put blame to it.
And he only hurt himself. He killed himself. He didn't. I mean, he did hurt other people, but he didn't kill anybody else.
No, true, but still, those people have no. I don't know. There's no.
Yeah.
There's no one to blame. There's no one to look at. I mean, there's somebody to blame, but they've already gotten. They got their price paid already.
So and there's a few videos of it, and this one guy lives down the street you see, vroom, I mean, I'll show you the actually we can even post it on here if you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll send it to you. So you see the car flying down the street, and then you hear, boom. I mean, the sound of a car accident. Yeah. It's unmistakable. And then after that, the horn. Beep.
the classic dead on the steering wheel. Yeah.
It was either that or him on the steering wheel, or who knows what the hell it was.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, he must have not been wearing a seatbelt.
Oh no, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
If you were wearing a seatbelt, you would never get to the steering wheel to be dead on it.
All the airbags were deployed in the car. I mean, the car looked like a bubble factory.
Well, that too. Maybe it had to do with the airbags. Like, how does the airbag come out and then you end up falling on the horn? Like after.
Oh, well, sometimes
that's interesting.
Yeah, so sometimes like something will get kinked or broken. I mean, a circuit has to be closed.
It could be just a circuit.
It could be anything. Sure. And then the next day, they find a dead body in the canal behind Target. And then the day
Really?
after, yeah, and then the day after that, last week, there were cars flipped over on Okeechobee Boulevard. People were dead.
I mean, this stuff happens all the time. I don't watch local news only because I feel like I just don't watch local news. But this stuff happens anyway. But the dead body in the canal, that's like, that was
That does happen all the time. I mean,
Oh, yeah, sure.
There was somebody in Wellington.
We're humans. We kill people all the time.
I think it was last year. Somebody in Wellington. Somebody went missing like 10, 15, 20 years ago. Something stupid like that. Never found them again.
Cold case.
It's a cold case. They went missing. The car's missing. The person's missing completely. Then somebody saw on Google Earth in somebody's backyard in plain sight, like, that looks like a car in the canal. It's been within an arm's reach
Wow, this whole time.
the whole time. It was right in front of their faces.
Now, I know no matter how you look at all this stuff, it's doom and gloom. People crashing, killing, speeding, dying, canals, dead bodies, flipped cars, right? Mm-hmm. I still look at it as technology somehow saved us in some of this.
Yeah.
The ring cams caught this guy going. So you have even though it's an after, there's nothing you do to stop it.
You have a point of reference.
You have a point of reference, right? Exactly. And the same thing, something like Google Earth. Some guy's tooling around playing with Google Earth, and all of a sudden he notices a car that was there for 20 years. Technology would still help us. You know, I watched a whole thing on how traffic lights. They don't work as well as you think they do.
No, they don't.
Like
They're
they
not
really
smart.
don't. What really works, and Europe had it way longer and before we ever did, and they utilize it way more.
Traffic circles?
Roundabouts,
Yeah,
traffic
they do.
circles. They are almost statistically proven to be 80% safer, which is an insane number when you look at the amount of death by vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, something like 10,000 plus a year.
Mm-hmm.
But something as simple as the infrastructure to putting traffic circles in a gridded place, like you can't just stick them in places that already have lights. It's a circle.
Yeah.
You,
We're Americans,
You're
so
making. I know.
we don't know how to use them.
Well, I mean, if you ever
Yield
been
to
to
the
Jersey,
person on your left. Yield to the person on your left. That's what I have to do.
it's so simple. Like
It's not because people are stupid. They are stupid.
everyone yields to the left, and if everyone just followed that simple rule, no one would really ever have to stop.
Yeah, but I'm in a hurry, so
Yeah.
I'm
or
not
like
going to do
like
that.
I'm more important. Oh, they went, then I go. That's not how it works.
Dude, the roundabout
It's not a
here,
stop sign. It's a fucking yield.
Yeah, right. And I'll be going toward the roundabout here, and the person obviously knows they have to yield to me because they're going really, really fast because they want to beat
They want
me
to get
there.
in front of you. Oh, I was gonna say, they want to beat you.
Yeah,
There.
they want to beat me to the
They want
roundabout.
to beat you there.
So I'm
because
like,
then they don't have to yield.
yeah.
But yes, you do. Yes, like
Well, no, they get there before me, so they're gone by
true,
the time
true.
I get there.
yeah, but they do it at a speed, and it's dangerous. You can't, and you can't drive fast turning like that.
No.
So you can only you're more likely to hit the curb and mess up your own car than actually do any damage. But yeah, I watched this whole thing with statistics on lights, and you're like, you trust in the system because I always say, and this is my favorite line, is like somehow all this shit works. Like we're lucky it all just works, but in a way, it's like this system that we've literally relied on for the entirety of all driving is inefficient and terrible.
Yeah.
Yet we have to keep using it because we can't change the.
It's that or anarchy.
Right. That's my point. You know, the idea is we're lucky it just works. You're like, well, we have to. You know.
Yeah. Daddy, I don't like meatballs. Well, eat them because that's dinner, and if you don't eat them, it's that or a starved-to-death sandwich.
Kill the few to save the many. It's like, you know, I just think there's ways around it now. And it does make me wonder because, again, no matter how close anyone ever says we are to FDS, full self-driving, FSD, it's not going to happen, like in our lifetime, most likely.
No.
They will have some really sophisticated fourth-level driving, like where you have assisted driving, but that whole full cars driving themselves, drop you off at work, and go drive other people.
That would be great.
And it will happen,
But
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 so
a lot of people
far.
are worried about the ethics thing. Okay, now this
No,
thing
the
has to decide: do I run over the old lady or the little girl?
Yeah, but and then
But well, what are you talking about? We have this asshole driving down
Right.
at 100 miles an hour, killed himself
know.
and almost killed 3
I
other
think
people.
I've mentioned it before. We always conveniently accept the excuse of the human, but we'll absolutely not accept the excuse from the robot or the AI. But there is a simple explanation to that. You don't hit either. You just stop. Right? Like when you look at those scenarios of whether you hit the old lady or child, like it already saw both of them before this happened. So it already planned not to hit either of them. Right? And even if it did, it would be that one case scenario whereas people are doing things like that fivefold more. And it's a convenient excuse of I was overtired, I was intoxicated, I wasn't paying attention, I was on my. I mean, just
I suck at driving.
Right, or I'm just a bad driver. Yeah,
They give I mean, it's crazy. They talk about, oh well, these people shouldn't have guns. These people shouldn't. Everybody gets a license. Doesn't matter how good or bad you drive, you get a license.
But for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
There are people that eventually stop driving because they suck so bad because it costs them too much. That means if they've gotten too many accidents, their premiums are too high, they can't afford another car.
Right.
Just get
this
an
guy.
e-bike.
This guy got arrested for driving without a license so many times.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. See, like, and at that point, the fact that you said so many times is a break in the system.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? So many times. How do we stop that? How do you stop him?
Throw him in prison.
Yeah, okay, for driving that he's not supposed to be.
You're not supposed to.
It's just that again, it's a strain on the system to put this one
A
guy.
car is a deadly weapon. You're not allowed to have a car or a gun because you're going to kill somebody.
Well, if you went to prison federally, you wouldn't be able to own a gun anyway.
No, you can't even have a water pistol. Nothing with a trigger on it.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, but,
Not even a super soaker? Come on.
if it has a trigger on it, you're not allowed to have it.
All right, man. I have so many. I have to look that up.
Because I had a
But
girlfriend.
that would be
her
really
brother
extreme.
was a convicted felon, and we were on a boat, and there was a spear gun, and he's
about
like,
a
I
flare
can't touch
gun?
it. He's
What
like,
if
he's
I-
like, he's like, I'm not allowed to touch anything that has a trigger on it. That might be hyperbolic me saying that.
It's fine.
Water pistol, but yeah, a flare gun. It
Yeah.
shoots something
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
on fire,
Okay,
no
fair enough.
less.
But still, there's no way to. Yeah, like you said, there's no way to really stop
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, but I mean, so you have a 16-year-old kid, and his mom and dad buy him a Ford F-250. They jack it up on huge wheels. Now this kid is driving around in a death machine, and the state of Florida is like, okay, here's a license, child.
Yeah.
That's 16 years old.
And they never taught him how to use Signal either.
Yep. And like,
Florida
all
and their
right,
Signal.
all right, okay, see you later. And if you kill somebody, which you probably will, just make sure you don't kill somebody that I love. Bye. Waving their hand. See you later.
Ah, yeah.
Yep.
And then it's funny because like we were talking about the ring cams, like even places like New York City, a long time, decades ago, they have the cameras that give out tickets.
Oh yeah.
So you speed and you go past and it takes a picture and they send the ticket in the mail and they're like, well, I mean, it's like $200 fucking dollars, man. Yeah. It's really, that's where you hit people. You got to hit them in the wallet. It's the only way to work, you know. But those are the legal people. These are people that are already doing the right thing, but they did one wrong thing in between doing all the right things.
Yeah, so now they can't buy groceries for their kids that
right.
Yeah.
This is the point I was getting at. Usually ended up hurting us more than it does. Same thing with gun control. You know, when it comes to, you need a license, we need training, but it only matters for the ones that are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You're only punishing the good, you're not actually deterring or changing anything for the bad.
Yeah, like
if
look
they
what they're
want a gun,
doing.
They want to rob someone, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, look what they're doing in New York City. I mean, if you get arrested, I mean, did you see the guy that was physically attacking the police?
No.
Oh no! That they just let him.
well.
That they arrest. He got arrested, and they just let him right out of jail. Just let him right out of jail.
He assaulted an officer and got let out.
Yeah, and he was giving the middle fingers to the camera as he was walking out. That's the beautiful, beautiful, magnanimous, and beneficent city of New York, run by these liberal maniacs that are letting these criminals out of prison.
I've heard it's gotten pretty bad. I mean,
they're crazy. They're crazy.
Both of us have been out of New York for over 25 years.
Yeah.
So there's no way we can I can't attest for anything that happens because I'm living in the past in my mind. The only thing I have memories of is my time when we were there. But you had no choice. You lived there because your parents lived there, right? But once I was old enough to make a choice, it was too expensive, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it was more economical.
We have a mutual friend who's a NYPD officer. And I talk to him sometimes, and he's irate about the way that city's being run.
And plus, all the empty office buildings, a lot of major cities are dealing with this. They're, all the empty office buildings that no one wants to rent because we don't need offices anymore. Because a lot of the stuff's being done online or through Zoom calls. You could have a virtual office and everyone just logs in.
Yeah.
Why am I spending $13, $15, $18, $2,000 a month for this office for 4 people to come to every day when we could just sit at home?
Yeah.
But the problem with it is you can't convert all of these offices into apartments because plumbing, and there's a lot of, zoning issues and all kinds of crap. It's like you're just left with all these like derelict buildings and empty offices,
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. We take all the beautiful landscape, the trees, the bushes, the grass. We destroy it to put buildings up.
Yeah.
Now we don't need the buildings
Right.
anymore. So what are you going to do? Tear the buildings down and put grass back there again?
Well, I mean, they could, but the money involved to do it, there's no money involved.
Right.
Just to take a building down and like, let's say, tote it away would be.
Well, I'll say,
For a
hey,
park?
you built this building here. You went and got your little permits, and you did and you made your little building, and you don't need it anymore. Well, now it's your building. You tear it down. You put the grass back, Mister Big Shot millionaire that wanted to
I
make
can only
more
imagine
money.
how that would work.
'Cause you-
What if
'cause-
it was sold and there's like 3 shell companies who own it and it's
Yeah,
been sold
exactly.
and bought
Right, exactly.
12
I mean,
times?
there's no way to ever
Yeah.
do it. It's just aggravating. Whatever.
It is. Yeah.
I'm just talking doo.
No, it's fine. We could do a little. This is a safety rant.
Yeah, that's it. That's the safety run.
This is our safety rant at a lifetime
It's
of
the
conversation.
safety run.
I have no safety rant today. I didn't come across anything overly unsafe. I see people do shit all the time that is just unsafe, especially driving. I think I guess that's mainly because you spend most of your time paying attention to other people.
Oh yeah.
You know, because everyone thinks they're a better driver than everyone else.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but it's always the same person in every car worrying about everybody else, which is in itself really redundant.
Yeah.
This is why I brought up the self-driving thing, because in a way they would make everything easier, and it does. But we're not there. We're not there to the point where it's more of acceptance. That's why when you mentioned like the car doing something wrong, it's not really about that anymore. It's just the fact that they are realizing that it's really, really hard to do. Like the engineers, the companies are realizing that, yeah, this is hard. We can't do this. Like there's too many variables
There's
on
too
the
many
road.
variables.
Too many variables.
I mean,
every
that-
parking lot, every situation, you need a mind to think of how to get out of this sometimes. You know.
But like, yeah, all the cars would all have to talk to each other,
Right, there
and
would
make
have to
agreements.
be mutual, communication.
And I mean, we
We're
used
not.
to have self-driving cars long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, a horse and buggy. You could drink a fifth of whiskey, pass out in the buggy. The horse knows how to go
the
home.
horse kind of knows how to.
You
go
know, he's
home,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go home.
And you know,
And
in a
they
way,
fucking go home.
it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because in a way, it is like kind of how they train a car to drive now.
Yeah.
They'll show this car like hundreds, thousands, millions of pictures of scenarios of things of how to get, and basically you have to train a horse to this is the way home,
Yeah,
right? So it did the time you took that it takes longer to train this horse that does these simple tasks of walking.
I mean, because you could drive the horse to all these different places you want to go, but at the end of the day, if you're all banged up and you're laying in the back of the buggy, the horse is gonna be like, fuck this, I'm going home. There's food there. You'll just go home.
But even oh man, yeah.
He's like, this is bullshit. What am I standing here for?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna get? Pull over for a DUI?
The other day there was a big boom where I was working, and I live I work in an area that is relatively remote for around here.
Sure.
You think 'cause this is pretty suburbial, and there was a lot of stuff going on. But at nighttime, you hear a big boom, and it's like they can't, they respond to everything because they're so bored. Everybody comes and they find it, and they find nothing. And they come up with the convenient excuses. Well, it could have been a propane tank, could have been a buildup in a gas line, but they find no damage, they find no nothing, and it's like, and then I'm also like, this is also Florida, it could be a gun, it could be fireworks, it could have been literally anything, and it's been the woods, you're talking about equestrian land over there. I'm not going to mention where, but
Right.
over there.
Over yonder.
Yeah.
It's a crazy town, whatever.
All right. Well, that was a good rant, Robert.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel bad for those hardworking landscaping guys, because
Yeah, well, one of them was his
that's got to be
first
the
day.
last thing that you think of is going to happen today.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm going to start the mow up. I got my pods in. I'm ready to jam out to some tunes. Wrap myself up in a burqa. The other day, those guys, I don't know how they do it.
Do you know? Actually, it keeps them cooler.
I know, and we landscaped a good portion of almost 5 to 7 years of our lives. I never would have ever wrapped myself up in
I
anything.
never would have thought of it. Yeah.
Right? Like
No.
you were taking more off. Like my,
Yeah.
my dad was at least cool where you could like mow the lawn without a shirt on.
Yeah.
Nowadays you can't do that. You ever see somebody mow a lawn without a shirt?
No.
Think about that.
No, never.
No. Because someone's out there fucking mealy mouth complaining. You know, I don't like this guy's half naked mowing my lawn. It's unprofessional.
I'm not a
It's
guy.
fucking hot.
I'm not a guy. Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah, but even yeah, it doesn't even matter anymore, guy. I mean, obviously, like anybody would really complain if it was a female, but
Who knows?
everybody complaining about something. I mean, you'd be washing your face in people's pools and shit.
Oh God, no! I know.
You ain't doing that nowadays.
No.
Like, hey, get your dirty face out of my
Hey,
pool. I
what are
just
you
chlorinated.
doing? Hey, I just paid some guy $80 to clean this pool.
Yeah, you don't even do it themselves. Yeah, well, good rant, Robert. Well,
Thank you.
I'm gonna. You don't have to. I don't get that angry, but when I do, I have to start writing them down, like
Yeah.
things that irk me. Because most of the time, I just roll it off, man. Because
Really
I can't
grinds my
get stuck
gears.
on this crap.
It really straightens my mezuzah.
Well, you'd have to have an update of this to see if they ever put the humps in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Terrible.
my God. Oh, it's the
They're
talk
so
of our
fucking
little
annoying.
Facebook group now.
So annoying.
I said on the Facebook group we should all go to his funeral. The whole neighborhood, like hundreds and hundreds of us. Sorry, did we crash your funeral?
No, pun entirely intended. And then when you go there after they bury the guy, you put a speed hump over his grave.
Put a little Matchbox Audi. Yeah, whatever. All right, I'm sorry. All right, well, we're going to get going. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Check us out at A Lifetime of Conversations. What, on YouTube?
Yeah, it would be just a Lifetime of Conversations. At A Lifetime of Conversations
Lifetime.
YouTube.
Cool.
You'll find us.
Yeah.
You'll see the logo. You can also email us at alifetimeofconversations@gmail.com if you wanted to get it with us and chat or make any suggestions or whatever.
Love mail, hate mail. Send us some money.
Heat mail. If you'd like
Heat
to send
mail.
some heat
Send
mail.
us some heat mail. That's a spicy one.
Yeah, so we also have been trying to really work the podcast episodes that we do into some YouTube videos where I add some reference points and some pictures and some comedy to what we talk about. We do have a bunch of interviews as well, so if you guys you wanted to check us out interviewing or talking with other people just besides talking to ourselves, you're more than welcome. So. All right, Robert, until next time.
Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.